Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Jana Pilcher, founder and president of Studer Education, and your host for Accelerate Your Performance. So glad to have you connected to our show. Last week, we had our higher education conference, and on the second day, we focused on student experience. It was such a great day and a half. So enjoyed seeing and being with our colleagues in higher education and some fantastic leaders across the country. Dr. Brendan Kelly, the president of Eastern Michigan University, said something many of us took to heart. He said, when we think about our education institutions, we serve and support our students best when we think about aligning what we do to the experience that students want, not what we want. So it's important for us to talk to students. As you heard on this podcast over the years, one of our most successful tactics is employee rounding. It helps leaders build trust with their teams, asking and acting on what's working well, what's getting in the way of you doing your best work, and who has been helpful to you, and how can I be helpful to you? What if we hardwired student rounding in our educational organizations? Talk to students with great intention to know the type of experience they want to have at school or in college. What if we use student rounding to proactively solve problems with them so they can be successful and engaged? Student rounding is an intentional conversation faculty, staff, leaders have with students on how they are feeling about their learning experiences or their student experiences. Faculty and staff and leaders can schedule time with students to ask general rounding questions, which we call relationship rounding, or questions that focus on a specific activity, which we call purposeful rounding. It's important to act on what is heard and to follow up as well. So relationship rounding questions look like this. Let's think about a student in class. It could be something out of class. It could be an activity that they're in, but it's a faculty, a staff, or a leader connecting with a student asking, what's working well for you in class? What's getting in the way of you doing your best work? Who has helped you in class? What did they do? What can I do to help you? Think if a faculty member had that conversation, that one-on-one conversation with a student. Think of the types of information we would gain. It could be about purposeful rounding. There might be something we're doing in particular. There might be a new lesson. There might be something new to what that student is experiencing. Then we can ask very specific questions about that experience. What's working well when they're doing that experience? What's getting in the way? Who's been helpful when we're trying to implement something that's a little bit different? What help do you need so that you can make sure you can do what we're intending to do well? So when we think about student rounding, let's take these steps. Let's provide an overview and direction for applying student rounding in our organizations, focusing on why. Why is it important? Why do we do this? What do we do? And then how do we do it? How do we help people and train people and build that consistency of practice for engaging in those one-on-one connections with our students? Then let's monitor the application and progress of student rounding so that we know what we're hearing and we can act on it and start rounding. Capture and review those rounding insights and then collate that information and build it into actionable improvements, actionable recognitions. We can capture the rounding conversations in our Studer Education rounding tool that uses AI to analyze the themes so that we can see common trends from student input. We can also know what each student is experiencing with these one-on-one conversations. At the end of the day, students know we care about them and want them to be successful. Think about how you might apply student rounding in your institution, class, or department. Student rounding can be for everyone who works in educational organizations. That one encounter may be the one thing that makes a difference in the life of a student. Have a great day, everyone.